Your night out from the bartender's perspective. Marty.
Thank you. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. You've all gone out. You've all gone out drinking. And you've all been someone you probably shouldn't have been. And there's one person that gets to see this time and time again, and who could be even considered a fortune teller or a clairvoyant, if you will, and that's the bartender. Because there isn't a damn thing you've done that he hasn't or she hasn't seen before. And I want to give you, whether you're my brother's age and you pregame to save money by drinking early on before you get to my bar, perhaps, or you've gotten to a point in your life where fitness is important, so you might be a little bit more in control on how that is, or you could be late night out with some lady friends having some wine, whatever the case is. The bartender already knows what you're going to do, or what the progression of your night is going to look like. So I'll give you some examples. I've been a bartender in several venues. In fact, I've bartended at places like O'Brien's in Old Town, which is like the average person comes in and orders a martini or an old fashioned or a B&B, and it's a lot slower pace than you get your regulars. And I bartended in Wrigleyville, a place where after you bartend, you never want to go ever again in your life, because you experienced the part of life that reminds you why you shouldn't drink that much, right? And I've been a bartender at a club/dinner restaurant in River North that goes until 4 o'clock in the morning, where I've seen all walks of life dancing with someone that's probably not their spouse, right? So I've got these experiences, and I've had the best. I'm going to give you a highlight of my favorite highlight reels. So you all know that ladies like to drink. It's usually considered the guys get out of control, but the ladies get out of control sometimes, and especially in Wrigleyville, where 9 times out of 10, I'm ordering a shot round for everybody. And there's 10 shots come out, and it's always something, they can't even tell you what's in it, right? They come up with their iPhone. Do you know how to make a... And you're like, what color is it? And this is the trick all bartenders have. They're like, oh, it's red. Well, I know how to make that. Just make it red and sweet. It doesn't matter, right? They don't know what's in it. You don't know what's in it. But inevitably, somebody drops a drink, things get out of control, and then she gets kicked out. And what happens? I know what's going to happen next. She's going to tell me all about her boyfriend, the cop. Right? Every single girl that gets kicked out of a bar has a cop for a boyfriend. Right? And for some reason, this is supposed to be a threat for the bartender. Here's the no. It's not. We know that your boyfriend's not a cop, and the last thing he's going to do is come to a bar to rescue you when you're 12 drinks deep and you're covered in some sort of red liquid. Now, there's the other ones. The Rico Suaves, the guys that come in and they're stalking the bar. Now, we can see these guys from a mile away, right? So this is one of those standard characters that come in the bar. And you can see these in the Wrigleyville area, although sometimes it's more game-oriented. But definitely in the River North area, where you're standing at a bar that turns into a club in the evening and dancing's going on, and you see these guys in the prowl. The bartenders can see this stuff a mile away. And actually, we're taking bets on whether you're going to strike out or not. So I want you to know that if you're on the prowl out there, you're not fooling anybody when you come up and order your drinks, lean against the bar, kind of prowl, and then we see you muster up your courage, walk over to the bar, and then strike out, and you come back for your next beer. You try it over and over again. We see that all night long. Right? So the bartender is not impressed by these either. So you start thinking, how does a bartender pick up ladies or guys, whatever they're into? It's easy. We wait for you at the end of the night where you're trying to hit on us so that you get some free drinks. And then maybe we'll get a phone number. That's how that works. Right? So then there are other characters. You get the endearing character that you have. We call them the old Joes, right? The guys that come into those bars in Old Town, and they'll walk in and they're there 4:30 Wednesday right? They're like clockwork. You know what day it is at the bar by the patrons that sit there every day, and you know what time it is by whatever time that person leaves or whatever time the next person comes in, because there are some clockwork drinkers out there, and Old Joe is my best example of it. Old Joe is that guy that comes to the bar, orders the same thing every time, and you know what? You're going to get your $1 tip so long as you remember that Old Joe always drinks an old-fashioned, and he likes it at a certain time, and he likes 3 of them, and he likes a watered back. And you can make sure that Old Joe is happy. What Old Joe doesn't realize is that you know what? We know he's not doing anything else. We might be his only friend at this point, so we get kind of depressed. We don't ever want to be old Joe, because then if you're the regular at the bar, then I know that nothing else is going on, because old Joe's highlight of his week is coming to hang out with me. So don't be old Joe. Right? Finally, I'll tell you about this other character. The other character that comes in the bar is the guy that managed to make friends with absolutely everybody. And this person that comes in the bar that makes friends with absolutely everybody is that guy that actually remembers the bartender's name, because he's been there before, and he treats the servers with a decent amount of respect, and opens a tab, remembers to close it out, because you know how many credit cards we get at the end of the night, right? And of all the people that had come into the bar, he's the type of guy that if a fight breaks out, he buys you a beer, and he stops the fight with that particular thing. So from a bartender's perspective, we know what all of these nights are going to be like. We can even predict to a certain degree of accuracy, to a decent degree of accuracy, how your next morning is going to be as well. So I would encourage you, the next time you go out to the bar, try to take this different perspective when you go to the bar. Look at the bartender, watch them for a little while, and see how they're interacting with the crowd. See when they lean over to the other guy and they start making bets on when that guy's going to fall off the stool or the rest of it, because how they entertain the night. So now, create your own character when you go to the bar. And be nice to your bartender and tip extra. Thank you.